What's up, everyone? I made it out here to Rancho Seco today. I decided to switch it up from the Delta today because I think it's been no secret that the Delta's been fishing a little slow to the start of this year. I think the question that's on everyone's mind right now is, are these fish in the spring pattern yet, or are they still warming up? It's been a really weird weather start to the year, and for some reason they just have not been getting into that spring pattern yet. It's still a little early in the spring, so we'll see. But today I'm gonna try and answer that question, and we're gonna be looking for some bedding fish. We're gonna see if they're up shallow. I decided to come out to this clear water so I can get a better view of that and really see what they're doing. So we'll throw the traditional spring baits at them. I got some red crankbaits, some red plastics, some Croix imitations, but I came prepared for anything today, so we'll try to get them. So I think I'm gonna start the day off today with something slow, pick apart these little coves back here. I have a Wacky Rig Senko, a red one, and we'll see if they want it back here. It's got a little weight on it. I probably should take that off. Plan for today is kind of to go clockwise around this lake. I want to save that rock wall for the afternoon because that's my favorite spot to fish around here. Yeah, nice. Okay, that didn't take too long. Oh, he's barely hooked. He's barely hooked. I don't really want to get him with the net. These trebles get so stuck on it. All right, quick release. At least we saw him. He counts. Yeah, I was just throwing this lipless on this shallow little ledge right here. So that kind of answers the question. He was pretty shallow. That was maybe 2.5, 3 feet of water. We'll see if that continues on throughout the day. You hit it pretty hard too. That's a good sign. I've only been fishing for maybe 20 minutes, so that's probably the quickest I've got on a fish all year. I just really enjoy how clear the water is over here. I don't know if we can see that on camera, but the visibility is really, really good. The water is just gin clear. It's just nice to change pace from that typical Delta murky water. It's just really difficult to find clear water like this out on the Delta. So if anybody knows of some spots out there where it's nice and clear, let me know. I mean, I don't expect it to be as clear as this, but if anyone has any suggestions where the water's not as murky, just let me know. I'd love to try it out. The one disadvantage to the water being this clear though is that you really gotta cast it far away from yourself or else they'll get spooked when they see you. That's something that takes a little bit of adjusting for me. So that left side of the lake was just stacked with bank anglers, so I think I'm gonna just troll this lipless on my way to the other side and give that side a try. Alright, so nothing on the trolling rig coming down this way. And honestly, that's kind of telling because usually it's like almost a 50-50 that I'll get something trolling down that way. So that might be another sign that they're up a little shallow. Yeah, they're stacked back here. I just saw 3 or 4 good sized ones cruising by. I might just tuck off over there by the toolies and just work it slow for a while. Oh, I'm getting some interest. Oh, interesting. Came over, took a look at it, and went away. I'm really wondering if that's because of me or they're just picky right now. Maybe wrong bait. Maybe I'll try something else out. They're stacked up thick back here. I mean, I can see tons of them. There we go. Oh, nice. Right, first cast with this smaller worm. Oh, there's another one following it. Oh, if I had a treble hook, I might have doubled up. Nice, I'm glad I netted him. He came right off. Nice fish right here. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. So first cast with the Chompers Morning Dawn 4-inch drop shot worm got me a fish. So I guess that's just what it is sometimes. Sometimes it's just a matter of using the right bait. I threw that fluke on the drop shot over here a couple dozen times with nothing, and then I threw that D-bomb on the heavier weight Texas rigged, nothing. First cast with this one. Again. Okay, I think I found the bait for back here. Oh, stay down, stay down. Oh, that was not the best net, but got him in. So it's definitely this bait. Got him figured out now. Another beautiful bass back here. It's fish number 3. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I'm definitely sticking with this. They're stacked thick back here. I figured they had to get on something. It's just a matter of finding the right one. And also just staying out of the way. I think it helped once I started moving towards the toolies and getting out of their sight. Oh, I had one on. I had one on. I had too weak of a hook set, he came off. They're loving this bait. Alright, so I think that's everything back here in this little cove that wanted a bite. I threw around the drop shot, got some on that. Then they started losing interest, so I decided to try out the glide bait. Nothing on the glide bait back here, so I'm gonna keep it moving. Alright, I made it back to the other side of the lake. I think I'm just gonna flip this toolie line all the way down until I get to the shallows, and then when I get to the shallows I'll come up with a new plan, see what I can do. Oh, I got a tiny little guy on a jerkbait. I was tired of throwing that Texas rig, so ended up throwing out the jerkbait, and ooh, this is dangerous. All right, success. Catching the dinks with the treble hooks is sketchy, to say the least. It's fish number 4. So he was out a little deeper. I was throwing it out into the deep side. Just had a bite on this 5-inch mag draft. I just saw him come up and grab it. Dang, that happens to me all the time on these things. I have a few of them. I've thrown them around here plenty. And I get bites, but they just don't get hooked up. I would have loved to get that fish on there. That's my goal for today, is to get one on the mag drafts. I have 3 of them that I brought today. That was a solid 1.5 pounder. Get a lot of followers, get a lot of interest, but the bites are hard to come across on this. And this is just a little 5-inch too. I felt like, let's see, I got a follower right now. If anything, you know, I would get a bite on the smaller one, but interest is good. We'll keep on with it, see if we can get a bite or an actual hookup. There we go. Come on. Oh no. Oh, he came off. Man, I had my drag too loose. I forgot to adjust my drag when I was trolling. Or from when I was trolling. But that's good. I'll take the interest on the mag drops. There we go. Finally a hookup on this. Oh, and he's barely on too. Barely on. Oh, that's not even a bass. That's a crappie. Insane. Quick release. That's okay, but that was a crappie. So crappie out here will eat a mag draft. Very interesting. That crappie looked a little beat up too. Might have been caught a few times. That's insane. I didn't think my first fish on this mag draft would be a crappie. I will take it for sure. I'm gonna keep throwing this around. That bite's fun because you're just waiting for it and you really feel it because you gotta reel it in nice and slow. So you're really aware of that bite. Like there was no question for me that that fish bit that lure. I'm gonna keep throwing it for a little while longer. Another strike right there. Another non-committal strike. He just blipped that thing and went back to where he was from. I'm gonna go back down towards the launch a little bit. I really like these coves on the right here. There's 2 of them on the way up past that dock over there that I really like. The only problem with them are that there's a lot of bank access from there, so it can be pretty tough when you're trying to navigate around people's lines and stuff. But I'm gonna head up there and try it out really quick. Here we go, on the drop shot. Oh, is that a bass? Oh no, that is a trout. I knew that didn't feel like a bass. Got a nice little rainbow trout on here. Just give me softer little nibbles. Oh, that's a good size one too. That might be my PB trout. Oh, he's a little beat up. See if we can see that. I'm gonna just release him without touching him. Let's see. Oh, these things are so delicate. Let's see if I can release him properly. Okay, there he goes. I just had to give him a little push. He's good. Kind of had a feeling I might get a trout today. They've been stocking them, so. Oh, actually, that was not my PB trout, but that was a nice one nonetheless. It's funny how you can definitely tell the difference between the bite on a trout and a bass. I knew right away when that was biting it that it wasn't a bass. Tore up my worm though. Alright, so I threw the mag draft around in this little cove back here. No interest, so I'm going back to the basics with the wacky rig. I really like the wacky rig for these coves right here because they have vegetation coming up from the bottom and it's hard to drag a drop shot through that kind of thing, so I like to use a wacky rig and just float it right above the bottom there. Gotten plenty back here on that, so that's what I'm going to try right now. No luck back here on the wacky rig. There was a couple bass on bed that I was trying to mess with, but they weren't taking it. Wasn't worth the effort, they weren't big enough, so I'm gonna keep rolling down and hit the next cove. Alright, so that was a bust for this next cove over here as well. I think it's worth noting that I did see a lot of fish on here. They were on bed for sure. They're just those typical finicky bed fish. So up next, I'm gonna hit my favorite part of this lake, that rock wall back there. Alright, made it back over here to the rock wall. I'm gonna start off with a drop shot here, but instead of this little bait that I was using earlier, I'm gonna use a similar one, but it's just a little bit sized up. Try and go for a little bit of a bigger fish. Still finesse presentation, but I'm gonna use this margarita mutilator robo worm here. As you can see, this pack's almost done, so I kind of really like these. Let's see if the fish like them today. I think people count this more as like a summer type bait and color, but definitely could work today also. I'm hoping I don't lose too many drop shot rigs because it's easy to get stuck right here too. If I'm finding fish in here and they start biting, I might switch it up to a reaction style bait. There we go. Got on one on the rocks. Oh, he came off. Oh, he didn't feel that big. That's okay, I'm not really bummed. That was a smaller one. He wasn't putting up that much of a fight. I'm liking that though. I just started fishing these rocks and I already got one on, so that's definitely a good sign. There we go. Little guy. All right. Bass number 5. This rock wall is looking promising. Had one to bite and I got one in the boat, so still got plenty of stretch to go down too. So far I'm at 5 bass, 1 crappie, and 1 rainbow trout. Last time I was here, I was right about here when I had that big one shake me off. Learned a lot since then though, so if I get a big one on, I'm gonna try my best to get that in. Alright, this drop shot keeps getting stuck on me, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use something else on here. This is the 3rd time I've gotten stuck. It's just getting annoying. Don't want to lose a ton of these either, or break my rod trying to get it out. Let's try this lipless out instead. There we go. Finally got one on that lipless. Very subtle bite, very subtle. Feels like a decent one though. Oh, he's, again, it's the theme of the day, barely hooked. Oh. Loosen up this drag a little bit. Oh, he's double hooked. Oh, I had that drag too loose. He went down on me and popped it off. Dang, that would have been the biggest one of the day too. I said I wasn't gonna make that mistake and I made it again. I just have like a curse right here. It's all right, that wasn't really a big one. That was maybe a 1.5. I knew he was barely hooked though, so there was definitely a good chance of that happening. At least this time it wasn't when I was trying to net him. That one was definitely just because that hook was too loose in him. or barely in his face. Alright, that's kind of the end of my fishable section of this. So what I think I'm gonna do is go back around and use a different bait, because it was producing. So that was 3 fish for me going down here one time. So I'm gonna use something to help them commit to bite it. So I'm gonna try and use a mega bass jerkbait. I'm thinking maybe that pause will get them to bite. I got one on it earlier today too, so I think it's worth a shot on this little ridge. It drops off really fast, so it goes from 0 to 10 feet in no time. So this one's supposed to go to about 10 feet. So I'm thinking this might be perfect. There we go. Plan worked. Oh, stay down. Just gonna flip him up. Let me not get a treble hook in my finger. Okay. Jerkbait. So mega bass jerkbait. There we go, bass number 6. Thanks, buddy. There we go. This guy bit right on the bank. I think this is going to be another boat flipper. Let's see. All right. Thank you, bass number 7. Appreciate it. So far the jerkbait, I think it might be tied with the drop shot, but the jerkbait is definitely one of the most productive baits of the day. You just can't beat the realism of these mega bass Vision 110s. They're just awesome. There we go, hit it on the pause. Oh, he's water skiing. Oh, took him a while to shake his head. Oh, he got it on the middle hook. Let's see. Oh no, that's the front hook. All right, don't shake again. Okay. Nice. So I think my plan was working with the jerkbait because they're hitting it on the pause. Here's fish number 8. Thank you, buddy. All right, everyone, it's about that time to start heading back to the launch ramp. To answer that question that I posed in the beginning of the video, I do think we are in that spring pattern for the fishing. The fish were up shallow, they were bedding. I saw them guarding beds. I didn't see too many females up on beds, but I saw the males guarding the beds. So it looks like the spring is in full swing. There are some fish still out in the deeper areas. So I think we got some stragglers, but other than that, we're in the spring pattern. Is it worth throwing red baits, the traditional red crankbaits, the lipless? Yes, but do I think that they're biting that extra good? No, I don't think so. I think they were pretty indifferent, but again, that could also just be the lake that I'm at. The water's really clear. They really like the natural presentations here, so I think the red might be a little flashy for here, but it really depends on where you're at. Yeah, the topwater season is right around the corner. I'm really excited for that. There's gonna be some nice videos coming when they're biting topwater. Until then, if anyone has any suggestions on what I should do or where I should go, just let me know, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, later.